If you're looking for the experience of a delicious cocktail, but without the effects of alcohol, try Kensho Cocktails by Reserve. These ready-to-drink beverages are made with premium botanicals and natural citruses and spices, giving them the flavor and finish of high-end mixology. Garnish with limes, cherries, or raspberries to complete a bold and sophisticated cocktail, all without the accompanying hangover. Go to rsrvcollective.com and use promo code CinemaVino, and you'll receive 30% off everything on that purchase. It's the biggest discount you can get, and it's exclusive to our promo code. Once again, that's rsrvcollective.com, promo code CinemaVino. And welcome back to Cinema Vino. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you guys are enjoying our Trilogy Series. This is going to be a scheduled break in that, as all of my kids are home for spring break. So we'll get back in the swing of things next week with episodes 4, 5, and 6 of the original Star Wars trilogy. So that should be some fun stuff. In the meantime, we're going to do a little flashback episode from a couple of years ago that actually now covers the recent passing of one of my favorite actors, Gene Hackman. That's part of our Best Picture series. This was the Best Picture winner of 1992, Unforgiven, starring Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman. It's a great movie. It's a classic. And this was a lot of fun to discuss. It was a lot of fun to go back and look at this movie again. So, yeah, check this out. I hope you enjoy it. And we will see you guys with a brand new episode next week. And welcome back.
You're court low
to Cinema Vino.
Or am I court too high? Not for my nose.
Oh, okay. We got Sean Jordan and Travis Tudd, Travis Budd.
How's it going?
TJB.
I saw Taylor today. He does exist. He's got a new puppy.
They do exist.
Yeah. And hopefully his facial reconstruction is going really well. He's looking good. Looking sharp.
His chin damn near healed.
Yeah.
The Mafia is not even going to recognize him.
No. He'll be totally new person. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my name's Todd Wofford, and this is going to be the first part of our next series where we look at movies that at least one of us has not seen before. These are all-time classic AFI Top 100 movies. So I forgot to look where this particular movie ranks. Unforgiven is the movie we're going to kick off with.
I have never seen it before.
I think I've also never seen it.
I've seen the last 6 minutes, I think, once on TV, and that's it.
Huh. Interesting. Probably a heavily censored version that was given the violence of the movie. But yeah, we're going to do a little Bone Shaker Zinfandel with this. This is a Lodi Zinfandel. You could look at this two ways. Movie was primarily filmed, a lot of it in California, kind of Clint Eastwood stomping grounds. This is a wine from Lodi.
I thought it was Lottie. It's in Lottie Dottie. He likes Lottie.
Very similar.
That D looks a lot like an O. Are you sure it's not Louis?
Louis.
So this is the Bone Shaker wine from Louis. But it's a good, rich, very nice, fruity, red Zin. Got some nice balance, got some nice body to it. And as we discussed.
Yeah, it's got some flavors of plum, boysenberry, dark chocolate, and hints of vanilla and oak.
That Trav is reading directly.
That's paired with lasagna, barbecue ribs, or your favorite pizza.
Off the back label. I was about to say, Zin is your classic pizza wine. If you're ever looking for something to have a nice, a good, decent pizza with.
Does it have to be a good pizza, though?
Well, I mean, it's like some comedians said one time, it's even bad pizza, still pizza, you know?
I don't know. I've had Papa John's.
It's true. There's some bad.
I'd go with a margarita pizza, but then I would add a protein of some sort.
Yeah.
Like a chicken? Or are you more of a red meat margarita?
I mean, you know what? I'll take a chicken.
Yeah.
But with bacon bits.
Yeah.
So you're kind of going for the paradise pie from Hideaway.
Ooh.
It's like an Alfredo sauce with chicken and I think bacon.
Yeah.
Spinach, mushrooms,
tomato.
Yeah. Hope you're all getting hungry out there.
I guess mostly since it does say lasagna or pizza, I would imagine they're saying it goes mostly with a tomato sauce.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would do it with Alfredo sauce too. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Well, margarita pizza doesn't have tomato sauce.
Well, I'm not that smart. No, it does have tomatoes though.
Sliced.
Roma tomatoes.
Whatever.
Honestly, if there's hot cheese and bread involved, fuck it, I'm game.
That's what's on a prom date.
It's on the back of my letter jacket.
Okay. So Unforgiven, a little background on this. We'll go back to the wine in a little bit, but this was released August 13th, 1992. Grossed $159 million against a $14 million budget. This was a pretty big hit.
Kind of Westerns coming back. The Western comeback.
This
mid-90s. 159?
Yeah, against a $14 million budget, so pretty good.
Jeez. Was most of that $14 million just going to like the cast?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
It's a pretty heavy cast.
Yeah.
What he wrote and directed it, right?
Clint,
or just directed?
He produced, directed, and starred in. So this
so
was
he didn't write it.
Yeah.
He probably didn't, have to pay himself much because I know that's what.
He probably got paid on the back end.
Yeah.
Got points.
Mm-hmm.
Percentages.
This was actually written by a guy named David Webb Peoples, who actually co-wrote Blade Runner. But he wrote this script before Blade Runner, and it sat around for a long time and kind of languished. And it was originally intended for John Malkovich to play the lead character, believe it or not.
I would love that.
That would be a very different movie with John Malkovich.
If it could be being John Malkovich, Forgiven, Unforgiven.
Yeah.
For Malkovich.
Yeah.
This, and so Clint Eastwood bought this in the 80s and sat on it until he was basically old enough to play the lead part.
Yeah. All right.
So this script actually dates back to like the 70s. This won 4 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor for Gene Hackman, and Best Editing for Joel Cox. This movie, along with Lonesome Dove and Dances with Wolves, led a revival of the Western in the late 80s and early 90s.
Tombstone and Wyatt are not far behind, right?
They spawned a whole 94. Bunch of Westerns, yeah.
What year was Tombstone? 94?
I think it was...
93.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew
that's a damn good Western.
I knew it wasn't the same year as Pulp Fiction. I know Pulp Fiction's 94. That's always my bar.
But yeah, this definitely helped spawn all those movies later. It basically proved the Western was still a viable way because it was dead for years before that.
Short resurgence, though.
Yeah, it didn't last long. They're not big anymore.
Well, kind of like how gangster movies saw a resurgence also around the same time.
Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Like, what was the most recent big Western?
83.
Okay.
What would have been the most recent Western? The last one I can think of is like 3:10 to Yuma, and then the I'm going to say the Jeff Lebowski, Rooster Cogburn. What movie is that?
True Grit.
True Grit remake.
Oh yeah.
But I really and I know Kurt Russell did, like Tomahawk Johnson or whatever the fuck that was.
I know there's something recent.
Django.
Django. Fuck yes.
The only thing I can think of for some reason was Cowboy vs. Aliens.
That I thought about.
Daniel Craig.
Which honestly, I was kind of upset when I saw that because I heard the title and I was like, fucking xenomorphs and cowboys? God damn it, yes.
With Harrison Ford and Lee.
My money.
Shit out of it. Yeah.
Fuck.
Kind of like Predator did their
yes.
Predator.
That's what I thought it was at first. I was like, that is fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then actually Eastwood going into this said this would be the last starring Western he would ever do. So end of an era for that.
And was it in fact the last Western he did?
Yes. He actually did one a year or two ago. And I can't think of the name of it now. I watched and reviewed it, but kind of a quasi. It was a modern day Western.
I was going to say, he does a lot of like Western vibes with
Nouveau Western.
Yeah.
But the Western with classical, like the old school Western, this is the last one that he's done for that.
Like, I think most of his movies these days are just like, I'm an old racist man.
Gran Torino.
Yep.
Don't fuck with me.
Don't fuck with me. I did bad shit.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
This is
that not this movie? Right?
Yeah. No, this is basically drunk Popeye is what this is. This whiskey is his spinach. That's my review.
So this is, I would classify this as an anti-Western. This is a deconstruction of the Western.
An Eastern.
Exactly. This is a Northeastern. All the tropes of the Western, pretty much almost every single scene of this movie is an anti-Western trope. It's a flip on something. It muddies all of the classic Western tropes. And basically, no period of American history has been romanticized like that time period, the second half of the 19th century. And the movies that have been made about it glorify the violence. They mythologize all the heroes to an extreme degree. Probably no genre gangster films are as close, or I'd say distant second, for mythologizing their heroes. Basically, Unforgiven tries to strip all of that away, of like the classic Western. Watching it again, I noticed that where just about every single scene is all about flipping stuff around and making it the opposite of what you would think a Western would be.
Can you give an example?
Oh man, I mean, you think about the scenes where they're discussing going off on their mission. I mean, they're Clint Eastwood says, well, we're going to do it for money. It's like they're not doing it for any sort of heroic reasons, like your classic John Wayne type. They're not doing it to avenge the woman. He's like, it's going to help the youngins. Or it's like they're riding along and Morgan Freeman asks, have you been into town? Like, have you been into town? And basically they're talking about masturbation, like, when Morgan Freeman's like,
you banging horse?
Using your hand. It's like there's all these scenes that you would never see in like an old school Western.
You don't miss it.
Yeah. And it's like you just go on and on where it's like, Gene Hackman is a sheriff, Law and Order, and he is a sadist. It's like it's clear that he's not necessarily interested in law as order, as like, was it like quiet, basically calm, tranquility.
Yeah, if you had to describe his alignment, would you say lawful evil, lawful neutral?
He's lawful evil, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lawful evil. But it's weird. This is mostly shades of gray, because it's not necessarily. I got this movie mixed up with, I think, The Quick and the Dead that Gene Hackman is also in, right?
Yeah, and
he's like a big old meanie that just they have what kind of a competition of. I don't think I've seen that movie all the way through.
Russell Crowe's in that, I believe.
Yeah, and Sharon Stone
in that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was very young.
I think I maybe. And not Mel Gibson. That's
Maverick, yeah.
See, several of these that happened in the 90s, they all blurred together to me. So watching this, I thought Gene Hackman was going to be much worse of a character. Like, obviously, he didn't do right by the women that were wronged in this. They were like, what? Fucking horses?
Mm-hmm.
Ponies? What the fuck is this?
And he's like, well, your property. Your damaged property.
Mm-hmm. So, he was still getting a form of justice, but not to the level that the women were like, fuck that.
Yeah, he pays the pimp for her getting slapped.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of time that the word horse is said in this movie makes me feel like Frank Reynolds wrote it.
It's like my wife and I are watching Lonesome Dove. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lonesome Dove, but same deal. It's also, it's not as much as this, but it's also revisionist Western.
But did the second cowboy deserve to get killed? Like, all he did, like, he wasn't involved in it.
Cowboy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ran in, he like held her down, and then was like, wait a minute, what the fuck are you doing? Then he ran off and like tried to get him to stop. And then
his instinct was to hold her down.
Yeah, he was like, hold her down. And he was like, oh yeah, of course, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
He didn't know if she was stealing or whatever, but like, then he's like, whoa, what the fuck? You're just gonna cut her? No, like, calm down. And then he tries to give her a pony. He's like, no, I've given you all the horses I'm going to, but I brought an extra pony or one.
Mm-hmm.
This is for you. You can buy it. You can do whatever. Like, he tried to pay the wronged party for something that he didn't ever do.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, for some reason I thought she was going to kind of like fall for the second cowboy, the younger guy that wasn't shitty.
Mm-hmm.
That is them playing in the gray area of morality.
Oh, the whole movie. Yeah. It's like,
the whole thing. Yeah. It doesn't have like Gene Hackman and damn it, what is that now? What's the other movie I just mentioned? Quick and the Dead. Yeah, where he's just a fucking asshole. It's just, these are a series of incidents. This is just like a historical thing of,
it's a vignette.
This is what happened. We're not making one person out to be like the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman just like wants law by any means necessary.
And that's why I was asking,
he's
if
the chief.
Is he actually neutral evil? Like he doesn't have like a evil agenda, or
he's just he's the police chief of Malibu. He likes his nice, quiet beach community.
Yeah, he's going to do whatever it takes to like keep his city peaceful.
He has his code, and he will enforce his code.
Yeah, and if a bad guy rolls into town with a gun, even if they haven't done anything, he's going to make sure they don't have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to round up a posse and make sure that they get anybody who's trying to enforce justice that's not his justice.
He didn't kill Richard Harris.
He sent a message.
Yeah, he gave him the opportunity. He's like, hey, man, you can pick it up. And he was fair. He gave, like, bullets were in the gun. Even though he was ready to go, but the guy was being handed a cocked, loaded gun and was like, I better not.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't kill him. He kicked the shit out of him. And he was like, you came into my town, told one of my deputies you didn't have a gun when clearly you did. Just try to big dick it. And I mean, you came up. That's all Westerns are. Is like
Big dick.
it's big dick in it. Like you came in big dick in it when you didn't know that there's fucking a Jaws big dick here, and the same thing. This is to me, and I said Popeye with the spinach whiskey, basically of him like, oh, he finally had whiskey once they killed his friend. I equate everything back to comic books. This is the Incredible Hulk. This is Clint Eastwood is kind of playing Bruce Banner, where he's like, no, I don't want you to make me mad. Like, I'm not having the whiskey. Like, I could be bad. I was bad before. I'm better now. Let's just do what we got to do, whatever. But as soon, and he took his kicking and he didn't get fucking crazy. That's all Hulk is. He goes into a diner. Locals start fucking with him and like, man, you don't want to do that. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Takes the ass kicking and is like, God, this is the kindest thing I'm ever doing for you, is like letting you kick my ass. But then as soon as you like wrong him, like as soon as you piss him off, Clint Eastwood, he drinks the Drano. He takes the swig and you're like, everybody's fucked now. And that's exactly what happens. He comes back and he hulks out.
He does it the minute he finds out that Morgan Freeman's dead. Like, he starts chugging.
He immediately takes a swig.
Subtle thing. It's like, you're right. It's like he's reverted. He's fully back to his old way.
He's letting it in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it made me think of the Aesop's, like the Scorpion and the Fox, the fable where it's like, can you fight against your nature?
Scorpion and the Frog.
I've heard different versions of it. Yeah, it's when the scorpion stings the frog.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's my nature. It's like, can Clint Eastwood, like, it's like in the beginning of the movie, it's like you feel that doom for him when he's being recruited this mission of like, is he going along because like he wants to have money, or is he going along because he's not really a hog farmer? It's like the Kill Bill thing of like, this is your disguise.
You were made to be this.
Yeah.
Like this is your true identity, and everything you do is just getting away from it.
You're a scorpion.
He's just a mean drunk.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
TLDR.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole movie up to that point, he's like, I'm not like that anymore. I've gave all that up.
That'd be a great title for this movie. A mean drunk. But Unforgiven, he's got like a lot of parallels too of I see the angel of death. I see the river, which I'm guessing is the river of Styx. Mm-hmm. He's got snake eyes. Like, he knows he's irredeemable in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how or why. Like, he sees his wife that sounds like a goodly person, and he's like, oh, her face was covered with worms. He was probably just, being tormented by that. Like, if this is a movie where heaven and hell do exist, I'm doubtful that she's actually in hell, but he's being tormented by these visions,
by the belief that she is
in this fever dream he's having. So when they talk about it all the time, it's just like, oh, he's just cold blooded. He doesn't give a shit if, they're like, Gene Hackman's like, you just shot a guy, unarmed man. And he goes, yeah, I mean,
want to see me do it again?
It's a great line.
It's exactly like, oh, what?
It's a great line where he's like, well, he should have armed himself if he's going to decorate a saloon with my friend.
Exactly.
It's a great line.
It's exactly also like Bronn in Game of Thrones. We're like, you don't fight with honor. We're like, yeah, he did. Dude, he just kicked through the moon door. That's exactly what the Senator Chief is like. He's like, I don't give a shit. Like,
that's the thing. He's an assassin. He's not some, like, high and mighty soldier or high and mighty, like, sheriff that's going to come in and try to uphold law. He's here to kill people.
Yeah.
It's like bringing
a job, and he's going to do it well.
A knife to a gunfight, except in this case, he was like, you shouldn't have pissed me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's funny because it's like you see that the Schofield kid, he is the antithesis of like, he's the would-be, like the wannabe, like watching Lonesome Dove, there's a scene that kind of parallels this where it's like Robert Duvall's like this old gunfighter and he's trying to get the drop on these like bandits, and they kidnapped a woman, and Chris Cooper plays like this young sheriff. And before they get there, they draw their guns in this canyon, and Robert Duvall asks him like, have you ever killed anybody before? And Chris Cooper's like, no, I haven't. He's like, well, then you need to stay back, because basically, like, you're not ready for what's about to happen. You can't handle this.
What movie is that?
Lonesome Dove.
Oh, okay.
Miniseries.
Is that the mini? Okay. It's like 12 hours or 8 hours or 6?
No, it's
7.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. It was over 4 nights on TV. So, but basically it's that same idea of like, you have no idea what you're about to get into.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like this kid, when he kills somebody, actually kills somebody, he's not ready for that feeling of like actually taking a life. So,
and the Schofield kid is like someone who's grown up on these legends, right?
Mm-hmm,
he's grown up on like the mythology of these outlaws.
The Duke of Death.
Yeah.
The Duck of Death.
The Duck of Death, you know? Yeah. And he's a kid who wants to kind of make a name for himself, and he wants to be a part of that conversation. But obviously he's not ready.
What do we think of that actor, the Schofield kid?
I mean, it's got to be tough when you're doing scenes with like, and Eastwood and, Gene Hackman, all the people. It's like you're just in a cast of Oscar winners. That's got to be tough. So, I mean, he seems like an overmatched actor.
I mean, he does, but I was thinking of that same thing. I was like, man, this guy is, in the movie, I was like, man, this guy's a little bitch. He's not all that great, but like, he did what he was supposed to do, right?
He played the character.
He showed up and I was like, man, fuck this guy. Like, we're going to wait until he's going to die. Then Clint Eastwood's going to go in and clean up, whatever.
And he's a red shirt.
Yeah. He's just a stepping stone. All he was there was to introduce the plot and to move it along. That's it. Like I for some reason, I was like, this guy's definitely going to die.
Mm-hmm.
But as it went along, I'm like, okay, yeah, he can't hold up the same chops as these other actors, but like, you know what? He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
It kind of fits the role.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, who did they fridge? Morgan Freeman.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of, not a whole hell of a lot, but they did a lot of the, depth where they're double focusing on characters. Like they mainly did it whenever the cut up gal, Dolores, I think her name's Delilah.
I have that song
where she's talking to Eastwood when he's coming out of his, fever, and, you see her offer herself to him, and he's like, no, it's not because you're cut up. It's because I'm fucked up.
They're doing free ones.
But they're doing, they have.
Do you want a free one?
Both of them. What is that called
like
when they're
focus?
Deep focus,
mm-hmm.
where foreground and background are both focused. Because they do it then, and then they also do it. Nope, I lost it.
Whenever Gene Hackman's whipping Morgan Freeman, you see it then too.
Oh yeah. And then they keep showing one of his weird deputies that just like is always doing like a weird look, and you're like, this guy can't get shot soon enough.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. And what was my other thought? Oh, the beginning, the title crawl. Like, I really thought that. I mean, until I saw the end of the movie, I'm like, this isn't Star Wars. I don't want like the crawl is weird. I think it would have been better if they would have just had Matt Black and then shown the quick part of the story or something. I don't know.
I think that's the stylistic difference. Weird. Like that was very much like an old Western thing, is having that crawl of story.
Well, I also thought it should have been voiceover of Morgan Freeman, but he didn't obviously live at the end.
And they were going to make it that way, but they decided not to.
But they did. Yeah, it needed. I know there's the debate on Blade Runner, but like for me, I don't know. It should have been. I don't know. Even his daughter. For some reason, I was thinking it would have been better with a voiceover. It just seemed weird how it started.
This movie felt old. It felt older than 92.
And some of the writing, like there's stuff that happens in a screenplay, right? That when you're filming it, maybe doesn't feel right. The dialogue, whenever he's leaving and he goes, yeah, you guys just remember about your dear departed ma and all that. Like it just immediately seemed to me like, yeah, you just remember the spirit of your ma is watching over you. Like, would have been way better than your dear departed mother. Like, it was just too flowery over.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you're watching the beginning. It's like when I watched Frank Miller's Sin City at first, and I was like, what the fuck am I watching at the beginning of this? Like, fuck this. And then later on, you're immersed, and then you have the buy-in, and then everything seems to make sense.
That actually happened to me with Fabelmans. Is like one of the first shots of the Fabelmans is when they're standing in line for a movie theater. And like the dad is just like, now the pictures move at this many frames and your eye only process, it tricks the brain. And I'm like, okay, this is going to get real tired real quick. And then like after a couple scenes, I was like, okay, that's just character. But I just thought this entire movie was just going to be Steven Spielberg just Gluck in theater.
Movie nerd porn.
Yeah.
That is weird that it's a little bit of the willing suspension of disbelief. Like, all right, I'm
If you
here
hit me
in
with
the
it
theater.
too early, I'm not going to buy in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But there is a certain, I guess you get, it's like watching a movie with subtitles. After a little bit, you're like, all right, I'm in the groove now.
It's second nature.
But that's how this started out too. It started out a little rough for me. And in places it wasn't perfect. So for me, this film, it was pretty predictable, but I'm going to give it a solid 7.
And I actually noticed the same thing that you did in that line. And I chalked that up to him being, some people are very natural with kids and natural parents. And there's kind of some people have those instincts and some people are just very, very clunky, awkward. Some people are just like fumble fingered dealing with kids. And I kind of interpret like he is a very awkward dad.
Well,
doesn't know how to talk.
His character would be made better if like they kind of focused on like, she was the mother and had the maternal instincts, and he was the old assassin who's just given up and raises pigs, and he's not cut out to be a father.
I mean, he goes off and leaves them. He's
just straight up. He's just like, you're the man of the house now. Okay, bye.
It's like it's obvious that he's an awkward parent because he's literally leaving his 2 kids on the prairie. Like, kill a couple chickens.
Hey, separate those 2 hogs, and I'll be back in a couple weeks. Maybe I might die.
Yeah.
Bye.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's just a bad parent.
Yeah. No, I agree though.
Seems like what?
No, I was just gonna say it just the screenwriting a lot of times felt a little clunky. The direction was good. I thought the story was predictable. It didn't keep my attention very well. I found myself kind of looking away multiple times and just sort of not hanging in with this one. That's why I texted. I was like, did I watch the right one? Is this like 1992 Western movie with Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the cultural impact movie that's on the AFI 100 list that I had to have seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see it. I mean, like you said, they did a really good job of, subverting the tropes. The Westerns, like all the Western themes were sort of turned on their head, and there wasn't like a good guy versus bad guy. And the way they told the story that way was fine. It wasn't an unpredictable plot. It was very linear, but sort of the characters and how they kind of interwove with the plot and their dialogue and their choices, that was a little bit more surprising. And I think it's interesting to kind of tell the story differently that way.
Yeah.
Great cast, but I don't feel like it gave that cast the chops. Just the material to do with what they have the chops to do. I would have expected more out of Morgan Freeman in this one, and they kind of just used him as like a backdrop character that just, like I said, he got fridged.
He's somebody who he's there for the common experiences with the Eastwood character to basically bring those stories out.
Yeah,
he's somebody who's there.
Someone from the past that has that experience and has that camaraderie with him that would give him someone emotionally tied to that when he dies, it gets him to turn.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just fridging his character,
But, they don't even really, it's just, they're there to kill the 2 cowboys, and they don't even really show much interaction with them.
Yeah, they don't really care.
The first time they go up to, fight one of them, it's just like, oh, Jesus, they're already there.
They're there.
They're the cowboys. I guess they're at a campfire. Oh my God, they're getting shot at.
I hit them.
Oh my God, I hit them. And then they draw that out and they're like, oh wow, yeah, this is really kind of fucked up. They're like assholes, but they're not trying to be fucking assholes. They're like, yeah, give them some water.
Yeah,
I think I got him. But then they just leave and they're like, oh, we got away scot free. No stakes.
Yeah, there were no consequences. There were no repercussions for their actions, and the big reveal, the Schofield kid who said he'd killed 5 men, he's killed none. That was his first time. They never did anything to try to dissuade him from the lifestyle. They didn't do anything hey, maybe you should reconsider, this life isn't for anybody, you don't do it, you're too young, you have opportunities. Even the good guys still kind of saw the women as property,
Yeah.
Was it? And I think I also got it mixed up with maybe the remake of 3:10 to Yuma with Christian Bale and
Russell
Crowe, where they're like having a big shootout like at the end, and they keep walking around through there, and there's like kind
I
of
like
buddy.
that one, yeah. Where he's trying to escort Russell Crowe to the train, yeah.
But I for some reason I thought I remembered Clint Eastwood leaving like the bar and then going out and having a big like rainy shootout with a whole bunch of people. Now I did think it was very effective of them all being like. It reminded me of Kevin Spacey in Usual Suspects. Like, what do you do when you try and shoot the devil in the back? Like, and he holds up his messed up hand. He's like, what if you miss? And that's what all the guys are kind of doing. They're like, you fucking shoot him. And he's like, I don't know. Hold on here. And he's like, well, I'm not a deputy. Fuck that. And nobody fucking touches him. Everybody's like, fuck that. I don't want none of that smoke.
Yeah.
That was kind of badass. But I was really kind of hoping for like a nice little shootout.
Yeah, and the last 10 minutes of this movie were the best part of this movie. You know, you get to see him go full Rambo and go just into the saloon and kill everybody.
They don't build hardly anything up. Like,
the pacing is weird.
It was kind of nice them just like you hearing Gene Hackman talk, and he's giving a speech. Good job, guys. We're gonna go mop up these bitches.
We're gonna make it.
And then everybody slowly starts to realize like. There's a guy with a fucking hand cannon in his hand. Like, oh shit. That was cool. So there were cool moments in this. I'm glad I watched it. It was good overall. But I think they're blowing a little smoke up its ass by being on like top 100.
That's my thing is like, I'd give this movie a 6, I think. Just because it didn't really keep my attention.
Yeah.
The writing felt kind of and the direction was kind of flat. And, maybe it was better in 1992.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was cool to see like a modern Western.
With Clint Eastwood, yeah, for the last time.
It's got to be weird to try and direct yourself, too. Like, I don't know if he's done it multiple times.
Yeah.
He's done it,
but I know with that line, like at the beginning, if he would have been like, well, this is what's on the page, I'll go ahead and say this. And you need a separate perspective to look at me like, man, that line didn't work or something that was
rework that. Yeah.
Like, well, I did like it was on the page. A good actor might be like, hey, he is a good actor, but I'm just saying it was funky.
Even he, I don't think we got good acting chops out of him in this one. He felt, his acting range is very specific. It's very
Clint Eastwood.
Well, he's playing subdued, though, at the beginning. Like, he's Bruce Banner most of the time, and then he unleashes right at the end. That's why the last 10 minutes is the best.
Yeah.
Is because it's keep him wanting more. It's just like, what? I came here to see a Clint Eastwood movie. What the fuck? And in the last 10 minutes, you get it.
And you hadn't seen this one before?
I hadn't.
Okay.
What do you think?
So, another thing to think about here is, you're talking like, you're reviewing it like in terms of its place in the top 100. And the thing about these movies is they have to age, and you kind of have to age with them a little bit. Like none of these movies were graded by people who watched them for the first time. That's the interesting thing about these movies is people have seen them quite a few times. And it's like, for me, I was this exact same way you guys were when I first saw this. I actually saw this in the theater, which totally is inappropriate for as young as I was. But then the first few times I watched it, I did not understand why it won Best Picture. I did not get it.
Oh, it did? Shit.
Yeah, Best Picture.
That.
Yeah.
What else was it up against?
Yeah.
92.
What else was it up against?
I know Howard's End was one of the movies, which I enjoyed Howard's End a lot. That was a Merchant Ivory movie. I should know this. I watched these Academy Awards. I was young. This is back when I was more into the Oscars than I am now. But I didn't understand why this movie won then. And I've probably seen it a dozen times since then. And it's like, my opinion of it gets higher every time I watch it. It actually, it grows in stature for me.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point now to where I see this as like one of the great Westerns. This is like a bookend to the Western genre. This is like the epilogue to it. It's like, to me, I think about a lot of characters in movies. It's like what James Bond says in Casino Royale, where he's like, we have a short lifespan. So, your belief in me is going to be short lived. Or if I make a mistake, it's going to be short lived. It's like, or Jason Bourne, when Jason Bourne has to go back and confront the people, like the relatives of the people he's killed in those movies. Like he goes and sees the daughter or whatever. It's like, these are people like Clint Eastwood's character has lived long enough to see himself as the villain. Like he has to go back and look at like the choices he's made. Like he has to think about what he's done.
That's true.
Most outlaws and gunfighters don't live that long.
Right.
There was the 93 Academy Awards for 92 movies. So Unforgiven going up against The Crying Game, A Few Good Men, Howard's End, and Scent of Woman.
Yeah. And I think that it was the best of those, in my opinion.
A Few Good Men and Scent of a Woman.
Yeah.
Man, those are both good.
Was Howard's End on that list? Yeah. That I think was probably the only one that would compete with it for Best Picture.
Wait, A Few Good. That's Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, and
Jack Nicholson.
I don't know, man.
Kevin Bacon.
I would have gone that.
Aaron Sorkin.
Can't handle.
It's a good movie for sure.
That would have been my pick at least for that year.
But
yeah, he does mention several of like the people he's killed before. He's like, man, he didn't deserve that.
Or shot him through the mouth.
Hey, I saw Eagle Hendershot, and there were maggots on his face or worms on. Like, yeah, he's getting haunted, definitely.
Mm-hmm. So basically, and it's kind of like watching The Irishman. It's the same idea where it's like you see him in the nursing home, whatever. It's like you see somebody or the rare person who's lived long enough to be able to look backward.
Yeah, someone who's lived long enough to have regrets.
Yeah.
So what's your rating system on this?
I would give this, like with you guys, first time I saw it, I would probably give this 6.5 maybe. I would say, having seen this a dozen times or so, an 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
I can see it getting better with age, for sure.
Every time I watch it, I find more stuff that I like about it, like, because you can appreciate the more depth to it.
Have we potted on Tombstone?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we all give it like a 10?
Yeah.
Straight up?
That was pretty high.
Just close. I was thinking about that on the drive over here. I'm like, what other Westerns have I said? Like, I keep thinking, because we gave Kill Bill,
which is
1 and 2 a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was like, well, Tombstone, I think is a fucking 10.
We've done good.
But I don't know if it's a 10 the first time I watched it, or if there's a nostalgia bump at this point. Like, you've seen it several times.
We did Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I think it was just the two of us.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
But all of those are classics. I see this
I
as,
think we did 310 to Yuma, too.
we haven't done that one yet. I would love to do that sometime.
The remake?
Yeah, I thought we did the remake.
Mm-mm. I would love it if we did. I enjoyed both those movies, the original and the remake. Why
the hell did I watch it recently?
I don't know. I own that one. That's a good movie. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on DVD. But I remember seeing this one in theaters, and it's just like, I didn't know what to make of it, of Unforgiven.
All I remember from 310 to Yuma is, for some reason, I guess they're in the middle of building a town or something, but I remember all of the shots, at least the sound or the Foley or something, sounded like almost like a nail gun. Like, it was very like sharp, all of the bullet shots, or maybe it was because it was going through wood, but I remember that distinctly from that film. But
yeah, that makes me think of the movie Heat, where it's like they get the sound of gunshots right, where it's like deafening. They kind of gloss over that in movies where people shoot guns. It's like
R.I.P. Tom Sizemore.
Yeah,
great fucking actor.
One of his best performances too. But yeah, in reality, like, gunshots spook horses, sometimes even very well trained horses. They kind of gloss over that in movies.
Yeah.
I did like him getting kicked off the horse.
There was
over and over. I was really hoping, I was like, shit, I can't remember. Does that happen? Like, after he's a badass, like, I'm a Billy Badass, I just took out all these guys. If them all sitting there watching, if his horse would have been like, fuck off, and he'd be like, shit,
just leave him. Yeah.
But he'd had his whiskey, so he'd whip his horse and like, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I've enjoyed it more and more every time. I would say 8.5. It's improved.
So what was your initial watch? You said probably would have been 6.5.
If back in the day, yeah.
And so the rewatch,
what, like 10?
Oh yeah, I was in middle school for some reason.
The rewatchability and the nostalgia bump gives it 8.5.
Yeah. It improved.
What pointage or what percentage of your boosted score is rewatchability or nostalgia bump? Like, is it 60-40? What's the scoop?
I would say it's 80-20. Rewatchability, I don't feel a strong nostalgia for this because I didn't love it the first time I saw it. To me, it's more like I find new things to appreciate about it because it's like the Western genre was built on kind of a weightless violence. You think about even the classic 50s, 40s, 30s, like the classic Westerns, people get shot, they fall off of roofs and they do the thing. It's like they fall off of barn roofs. It's like, it's like it's a very weightless killing. You don't see any blood. Yeah. And it's like this makes killing and violence very ugly, very close quarters.
It's always been very dehumanizing, right? Because it's like you're killing just faceless bad guys.
Yeah. And it's like Clint Eastwood's iconic line now is like, it's a hell of a thing killing a man. You take away everything he's got and everything he's ever going to be. It's like it's a simple but very profound line about
everything he's going to have.
Yeah. And
because I thought it was always going to be.
Or everything's going to have. Yeah. And it's like it gives you like the weight of taking somebody's life. So it's like, it's deceptive because it sounds like a simple, Clint Eastwood, very gravelly voice thing to say, but it sums up like the weight of this movie very well, like how horrible it is to actually kill somebody,
I don't know why I just thought of these. I can't, I have never seen Young Guns 2, but Young Guns, the first one, I fucking love that movie. That was very early 90s too, or it might have been 90. I don't remember.
And ironically, I saw a clip of Old School recently. This is a weird tie-in, but where Will Ferrell takes the dart to the neck. And hey,
Chavez, you see the size of that chicken?
Are you okay? But then it's like the Young Guns when they do the peyote. It's like,
what?
Did you see the size of that chicken over there? It's like, man, peyote's some good stuff.
I need to watch that again. I need to watch 2.
2 is a hell of a movie.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
better or almost as good as the first?
I think it's better. I like 2 better than 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the scene where he's like, he's fucking with the guy in the saloon that doesn't know that he's Billy the Kid, and he takes all of his bullets out of his gun. Yeah. It's just whistling in his face. I fucking love that. I taped that off of TV. I watched that VHS a lot.
Do we need a podcast on this like 4 more times to get it up to like an 8.5?
No. I mean, I would say it's definitely over the years worth going back to down the road. See what you think of it in 5 years.
So that's why I asked the question, is because I love Fright Night, and I'm like, oh, this is a good vampire movie. And then I watched it several more times. I'm like, so fucking good. I see something different, or I watch a new interview, or it makes me go watch a documentary about it, or read a book about it. And I'm not sure if it's the rewatchability or now like the nostalgia at this point that really, but with that, it gives me, that's my vampire mythology. Cause every time they come out with a movie, they're like, oh yeah, silver doesn't do shit. So don't worry. You throw a cross at them, they're going to turn you around and shove that up your at. Like for me, the Fright Night mythology, I'm like, fits with my headcanon of vampire mythology, which is why I like it. So I don't know. That's a part of the nerdery I like too. So that's why I asked your rewatchability and nostalgia. Like, I'm like, it grows in the talent. Like Hook, to me, Hook, damn near a 10 movie. I think I would give it a 10.
I don't think there's any nostalgia there. I think
it's great.
It's a great movie.
Yes.
So much fun. But yeah, I mean, watching this now, it's like the scene where Hackman takes Richard Harris's guns. You know, it's like such a well constructed, like tense scene. How it builds, like you think he's gonna walk away. It's like, well, I'll see you gentlemen later, and then he walks away, and it's like, I'll take your 32. So he's got another gun stashed away.
That's the other shot. That's what'd you say?
Like a deep focus shot,
where you see a shot.
Where
that
Richard
was
Harris
the other one.
Turns to the camera, and he's about to walk away, and you see Gene Hackman in the background, knowing he's got another gun on him.
Mm-hmm.
Question. So, Gene Hackman's character mispronounces Beauchamp, right, as Beauchamp.
Mm-hmm.
He never sees it written out at any point, right? He just mispronounces it with a P without ever seeing it.
He's mocking him, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he mocking him? I thought they were doing like a whole like illiterate like.
He also calls the other guy Duck instead of Duke.
He's making fun of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I just thought they were making a literacy joke.
And
like, this guy's kind of a dingus.
And that could be, I just interpret that as Hackman was just mocking him. He's just like this, fucking tenderfoot pansy.
Tough guy, shitty carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only person you need to kill is the carpenter. What'd you say?
Mm-hmm. But so yeah, I enjoyed it. We'll see what you guys think down the road.
I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Yeah.
I've watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. You hadn't seen it before.
I hadn't.
Oh,
seen
that's
it
right.
No.
Okay.
And there'll be movies, I think, on this list for sure. There's always classic movies that you don't think much of the first time, or sometimes ever. There's classic movies for me, for sure, that I've never loved. So you never know.
Yep. We need to find more movies that you haven't seen.
No, they're out there. They're just not on the top 100. There's an
Friday Night Part 2.
I've never seen Friday Night Part 2.
Still got to do it.
Electric Boogaloo.
Next Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening for sure.
Leprechaun 4.
No, I've never seen Leprechaun 4.
Back to the Hood.
Never seen Major League 3. Back to the Minors.
You ever seen Critters 1 through 4? One of them has Leo DiCaprio.
Police Academy 7.
No, never seen that.
Oh, is that the one where they go to Russia?
I don't know. I know Police Academy 3 is when Bobcat Goldthwait becomes a cop. Because he's the bad guy in 2.
Yeah.
He becomes a cop in 3.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he does the Apollo Creed and turns around and becomes like a frenemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this has been another episode of Cinema Vino, and we thank you guys so much. We got Bone Shakers Zinfandel. This is 2020 vintage. This is a good, very drinkable, accessible, kind of medium-bodied, fruit-forward red Zin.
Yeah, it's got flavors of plum, boysenberry, dark chocolate, and hints of vanilla and oak. That's paired with lasagna, barbecue ribs.
What about pizza?
Or your favorite pizza.
Oh,
Exactly.
Maybe a margarita pizza?
no.
Oh, wait, no, that's Alfredo, isn't
You
it?
needed that red.
Did we already
red
talk about this?
No, I don't think so.
This is great wine.
I get a nice peppery vibe from it too. I think it'd be good with I think you could do this with a steak for
There's
sure.
a good pepperiness to it.
Yeah. I think you could do this with a nice filet mignon, which I believe I will have tomorrow night for dinner. So
This is really good. I
I
really
think
enjoy this.
tomorrow night for dinner you're having Mommy to OKC.
yeah, that was last week. He's reading our schedule off the fridge, so we're exciting around here.
What's the ants on a log? Is that the celery that has peanut butter and then just like raisins on top?
Yeah. Culinary.
Is that,
So yummy.
is that crunchy or smooth?
It is what you want it to be.
I mean, it's your ants on a log. Are you using crunchy or smooth?
Oh, peanut butter? Oh, crunchy.
Okay. Extra or just crunchy?
I'm going extra crunchy. I'm not a barbarian.
I'm just going to eat peanuts.
He loves it peanuts.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Are you a smooth peanut butter guy?
No, I love those peanuts.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a
Peanuts in my mouth all
crunchy
day.
peanuts all day.
I'm glad
Peanuts.
this podcast can continue. We're all crunchy people.
We should do a podcast where we're just eating peanut butter the whole time.
Just see that to the roof of our mouth.
This is
Welcome back.
Guys, we got to end this episode.
So we will see you guys next time. Great movies, a drunker, the whole business. So we love you.
Hasta luego.
Be sure to listen, rate, and subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CastBox, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our website is at cinemavino.net, and reviews of these films can be found at toddwoffordmovies.com.